welcome back to another video. Before I get into what I want to talk about today, I just want to apologize for being absent from the internet this week. It was my spring break, but I was sick and in bed the entire time, and I'm still a little bit sick, but I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So that's why I was gone, but I'm very much still alive, and today I'm going to be actually telling you guys a story about something that happened while I was sick. So this incident took place on Tuesday. I woke up, I was feeling really sick, and I didn't have any more DayQuil left. So I decided to go to Target and get some. There's a Target about a mile away from my house. So I decided to walk there and get some DayQuil and then come back home. So I got to Target and I looked around the store for a little bit. Then I went to the CVS inside the Target and looked at all of the different cold medicines and decided to get this, which is generic DayQuil, because that's worked really well for me in the past. So I grabbed my DayQuil and go over to the self-checkout area because I personally prefer to use self-checkout because it's a lot easier and it's usually a lot faster, and I just think that it works better. So after waiting for like 5 minutes, one of the self-checkout stations finally opens up, and I take my DayQuil and I scan it through the machine, and then it just starts beeping and beeping and beeping. And I'm just standing there for like probably a minute or two, and it's just beeping while the attendant is helping someone else. And then she finally comes over to me, and she looks at me and she looks at the DayQuil, and she says, "Honey, I think you're too young for this." I was kind of in shock for a few seconds because I didn't even know that you needed an ID to buy DayQuil. But I replied to the lady and I said, "No, it's okay, I'm 19. And she says, "Well, I'm going to need to see some ID for that." Luckily, I had my ID with me and I showed it to her. And for those of you who live in California like I do, you'll know that there are stripes on your ID when you're under a certain age. This is my ID from before I turned 18. This one says age 18 in 2015, and this one says age 21 in 2018. But my current ID, which I got in December, only has one stripe. So just by glancing at my ID, she could tell that I was over 18. So after I gave it to her, she was just kind of in shock, and she didn't say anything, but she removed the beeping from the machine and made it so that I could pay for my DayQuil. And that's exactly what I did. I bought my DayQuil, I left, and I went home. But I wanted to talk about this because this is something that happens to me all the time, and it has been happening to me for many years. I've always looked younger than I actually am. When I was in elementary school and high school, I looked about 2 years younger, but as I've gotten older and as I've become an adult, the gap between the age that I actually am and the age that people think that I am has widened quite a bit. People typically think that I'm 15 or 16, even though I'm turning 20 in August. When I was younger, it was kind of annoying because people didn't really take me seriously, and they kind of babied me a lot, which I really didn't like at the time. But honestly, it kind of annoys me more now because I am a legal adult, but people still think that I'm in high school. For most of my childhood, all that I wanted was to be 18 years old, to be a legal adult, to be able to make my own decisions and be respected by other people. But unfortunately, I somehow ended up looking really, really young. I think the universe just wants to be cruel to me for some reason. Obviously, I can prove my age by showing my ID, but it's just kind of a hassle. And it just really bothers me when people doubt me and people think that I'm lying to them about my age, or I'm trying to do something that I shouldn't do, which is really never the case. The only thing that I found that kind of makes me look a little bit older is clothes. If I have something really important to do, if I have to go to the bank or the DMV or just deal with some sort of official thing, I usually dress up a bit. I don't wear Vans or hoodies or anything that young people usually wear, and it kind of works some of the time, but I feel like what really makes me look young is my face. I pretty much had the same face for my entire life. Obviously my skull is bigger than it was 19 years ago, but my overall face shape has kind of stayed the same, and I don't really know what to do about it. Whenever I Google how to get rid of a baby face, pretty much the first thing that comes up is to lose weight, but according to my doctor, I'm already underweight, so I probably shouldn't take that route. But if any of you are coming to VidCon and are really good at makeup and want to help me to look a little bit older, then that would be absolutely amazing. So that was my video about age and how people think that I'm way younger than I actually am. If you have any stories about a time when people thought that you were younger than you actually are, or older, comment down below. I would love to hear your stories. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Click here to subscribe, click here to check out my most recent video. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all very soon with a new video. Goodbye.